In this episode, we are going to create our pages using our Bootstrap framework. So for what you have to do is you have to create an index page. So I'm going to save this as index. Then you can set our extension is now going to be index.php. So we don't have to save this as index.html. We need to save this as PHP. So I'm going to save this as index.html, and make sure you are saving this particular file inside your complete login and sign up folder. So I'll save this now. Now, when I click the arrow here, you can see I have the index.php here. So I can begin to. So what you have to do is you have to first, I'll save this. Then I'll create my HTML structure. I can just get rid of this now. Now we need to, so in the index.php is going to be our login page. Okay. So what you have to do is now you come back to my browser and I refresh this, but you can see that we're going to have a blank page. Okay, so this tells us our index.php is working. Now what we need to do is we're going to use a web framework called Bootstrap 5. So this is going to help us in creating a nice login page. So all what you have to do is go to Bootstrap. So go to their site. So getbootstrap.com. So you go to www.getbootstrap.com. Then you select the version. Since we are working with Bootstrap 5, you can select any version. So you can go for version 5.0.2 or version 5.13. So I'm using the latest version, which is version 5.2. So sorry, yes. So you can use npm in getting the files here or downloading the file, but we'll be using the CDN. So what you have to do is you have to go to docs. Yes, so when you come to docs and go to download. So here we have an option to download the compiled CSS and JS files, or we can just be using the CDN or just download the compiled CSS and JS files. So this will be downloaded to go to my downloads. I'll just minimize this now. I'll open this to my folder here. I'll just drag it here so that this will be much easier. So I can delete this folder now. So now when you go to your sign up and login folder, you should have these three there, the CSS files, the CSS folder, and the JS folder. Okay, so let me go back to my text editor. Now we need to link our CSS files here and the JS. When you look at the CDN or the docs here, it's saying that we can just link, we need to link the bootstrap.main.css, then bootstrap.paddle.main.js. So we're going to, I'll just copy these two inside my head. I'll paste them here. I'll get rid of this. Just get rid of this also. Then I'll cut this. I'll paste it at the end or inside my body tag. I'll also delete this. So you should have something like this. So this is telling us we are moving into the CSS folder. Then we are looking for a CSS file called bootstrap.main.css. When you go into our CSS, you have a whole lot of Bootstrap files here. So you are looking for this particular file, bootstrap.main.css. Now, it's the same thing goes for the script tag. So the same thing, you have the bootstrap.bundle.js. So you can just even make this .main.js and this will still work. So So let's make dot main.js. Now, what we can do is let's go back to, so when you refresh, still have nothing. So let's change our title to something better here. So login page. I think I'm just going to put this here also. So when I refresh, now my title is changed to login page. We can begin something here. So if you need to reference anything, you can just come to example. So go to docs, then we have components. Okay, so you can come to components here. So you have a whole lot of components that you can use here. So since you are creating a login page, let's have a header h1 tag here. We have a login page. Then since we are using Bootstrap, we can just use a class called text center. This is going to center our header tag here. You can also use something a class called margin top. I'm going to give it 5. So this is going to push it down a little bit. Then you can have a div tag here, and this div tag is going to have a flex, dflex. So we have dflex justify content center. So we're going to push all our content into the center. Then we have another div, and this div is going to have a class of container. We have another div here. This div is going to have a class of card. I'll copy this, paste it here. Then this will be card body. So this is going to give us a really nice card here. So you can change the color of your card by using BG. So BG means background. You can change to any color like success, but I'm not going to use success. So I think, okay, so let's go for success. So BG success. And I'm going to have a form here. So I'm going to have a form, and then I'll have an ID called login form. So yes, we'll come back to the ID later. Now let's have we're going to have two input here, and that's going to be our email and password. So we have our first input is going to take a form group, a class of form group. Then we have our input. The input type is going to be text, since we are dealing with email. Then we have an ID. So I just put this here a bit. ID code, user email. Then we're going to have a Bootstrap class called form control. So this is going to give us, so first of all, let me just refresh this and see what we have here. So you can see we have this doesn't look nice. So you can give it a class of form control. So it is going to control our form and give us a very nice form here. I can just put this call everything here. Then think I can just copy this, paste this here. I'll change this to password. I'll change the ID to user password. Then I'm having something like this here. So I can also add a label. Then I'll say email, copy this, paste it here, change it to password. Now I'm going to break the line a bit by using the break tag. Okay, then I'm just going to cut this, give it a tag and a div and a class of dflex, justify content. So I'm just going to put this inside. So I can just delete this one instead. Delete this also. Change this to 12. Yeah. So you should have something like this. Now let me maximize this. Then I think so. This is also responsive. Okay. So when you are using your mobile, it's adapt to the mobile screen, and also when are using a tablet or a full desktop screen, it's also going to adapt to that particular screen. So Bootstrap makes your page very much responsive. So I'm just going to push this here again. Then I think I'm going to build this. Let me try container fluid and see. Yeah, so let me just go with container. So you can just style this any way you want. I am going to give it a class of text white to make the label stand out. I'll copy this. Paste it here. So I have something like this here. Now you need to have a button here. So we're going to have button tag. Inside this button, I'm going to have a name called login. So we are having something like now. Let's style the button a bit. So I'm going to have a class of BTN. I think I'll use lights. Then I will do a BTN block. I'm not getting anything here. So BTN light, BTN block. So let me just go to. I can just reference this from the Bootstrap side. So I'll go to buttons here. Now, yeah. So I think I'll need to wrap this in a D grid here. So I'll wrap the button in a grid. I'm going to have a tag here, and I'll have a class of D grid with a gap of 2. So I'll just paste my button here. Paste this, come back to my login page. Now I'm having the block, but the BTN block. So I'm also going to break. I can use a margin top to break the line to margin top 5, or I can just use the break line here. So 5 is too much. I'll go for 3. Then I'll change the color to pretty and primary. Okay, so I have my login page here. So you can just take your time and style this page anyhow you want it. So for tutorial sake, I'm just going to accept this as my final login page. Now let's let's add something here. So let's add forgot password. So in case it's going to be a form, right? So we have a paragraph here. I have something like forgot password. Oh, then you can reset it here. Oops, I think I opened, I need to add this from here, paste it down here. But if I do it here instead. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it here, but I'll put it in the center tag here. I don't know why this keeps going this side. Let me just I'm going to place this inside the form. I think that's what my styling is very bad, very poor. So you can just take your time and style this anyhow you want it to. I'm just going to yes, I'm going to keep this. Going to keep it this way. So style this. And so forgot password. Okay, then reset password. Oh, so I can break the line again using margin top of 4. Then I can change the text color, the reset color. So I can use a class here, then change the text to white by using a class called text white. So I have something like this here. So when I click on this, it should redirect me to the forgot password page. But since I haven't created that page, I'm just going to get an error here. So not found. So this is because I haven't created any page called forgot password. So I'll just go back. Then I'll keep this screen here. Then what I'll do is I'm just going to create another page inside my folder here, the complete sign up folder. Then I will name it forgot dash password dot php. Now, when I click this, you should see a blank page. So I'll just copy whatever is here, paste it here. Then I'll do away with the password. I'll save, I'll change my title to reset password. So same thing goes here. And I'll keep the email here. Then what I'll do is I'll change this forgot password to go to login or go to login. I'm just going to refresh this. So I'll change this to login. Same thing. So I'll change this one to index.php. So you should have something like this. So I'm just going to change the name to reset password. Yes, so I'm having something like this here. I think I'll push the form. We're going to push this from top a little bit. Yes, so I have something. When I click on the login, it takes me to the login page. when I click on the forgot password, it also takes me to there. Now let's do for the sign up screen. So the sign up screen, think let's go to login. Below, you're going to have something similar like this. Yeah, then I'll say new user. So are you a new user? Now, if yes, then let's go to signup.php. So I'll just do something like sign up. Now when I refresh, so I'm having something like this. So new user, yes. When I go here, I'm going to have this file here because I haven't created this file. So let's create it. So I'll go into my complete folder, complete sign up folder. I'll right click here. Then I'll go to add new file. So I'm going to press Ctrl S to save it as signup.php. Now when I save this and I refresh, I'm going to get a blank page. What I'll do is I'll just copy everything here. I'll paste it here. I'll change this to sign up page. Same thing here, sign up page. Then with this one, I'm going to have multiple. Let me just save it and refresh. So I'm going to have multiple input here, and I want the input to be vertical. So what I'll do is I'll do a row. So I'm just going to my the way I'm using, I've divided the screen is really messing up my code there. So my code looks messy, but when I increase everything, you can see it's not messy. Okay, so let me just keep it this way. I'm just going to I'm going to divide the screen again. Then I think I'm going to delete all these except the login button. I'll save it here, I'll refresh. Yes, then I'm going to create a row here. So a div with a class of row, then another div, it's a class of column. So we have 12 columns in all. So I'm going to divide it into 6, making 2, 2. So 2, then what I'll do is I'll have an input here. Sorry, I'll have an input. The type is going to be text. I don't want name, I want an ID, which is going to be first name. Then let's save this. So we're going to have something like this. Let's just give the form, the input a better look by adding a class called form control. So I think this is this. Okay, so I'll divide it to 6. This also to 6. So this is going to give us something like this here. I'm just going to push it up a bit by using a class inside a form. Then so now I need to have a placeholder. Okay, so I can use a label, but this time I'll go for a placeholder and I'll use first name. Same thing here, placeholder, I will use last name. So we should have something like this. Then I think we have last name. Let's go for, I'll just copy everything here. I'll paste it again. I'll change some things here to maybe user email once again. Then I'll enter email. And what do you need again? I'll go for phone number, phone underscore number. The placeholder will be phone number. I'll save, refresh. Oops, I think I'll just delete this. Refresh again, then I can push Can push it down a bit. Okay. Now let's have, so you have first name, last name, email, phone number. What else? Let's have two more options, and that's going to be our password. So user pass, then you have what you call password. Then the ID will be confirm underscore pass. Okay, then we have the placeholder saying confirm password. So I'll refresh this again, and now you should have something like this. So now I'll change the login name to sign up. I'll come down here. I'm going to say, are you already a user? Already a user? If yes, then when I click on login, to take me to index.php. I'll change the name to login. Same thing here. So since I'm signing up, I don't need to reset anything here. So I just get rid of this. Yeah. So you should have something like this. So first name, last name, email, phone number, password, confirm password. So now when I click on login, so this takes me to the login page. You can see our title also changes here. So yeah, we are currently on the login page. When I click on reset password, you see the title changes to reset password. When I go to login again, I go to sign up, it also changes. So I can just close this. I'll close this, but I'll keep the Bootstrap open. So in case I want to reference anything, I can just come here and reference. So I think I have to change this to sign up. Oops. So you have N here, sign up. So you can take your time and really design this page however you want it. Okay, but I think this is okay for me. So I'm going to keep this for tutorial sake. I'm going to keep this as my final design. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel at MULTIMAN95. You can also download, I'm going to put a link in the description whereby you can go to my GitHub page and download this particular repo that you are working on. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe, also like and share. See you in the next episode.